My name is Harry Waters, and this is The Story. Today we're going to talk about asking for help. One of the hardest things to do, but also one of the most beneficial things that anyone can do in any career is to ask for help. I remember when I was starting off as a TV editor, also, was a journalist for a couple of newspapers, and this same strategy worked in both of those cases. I basically picked up the phone, started calling people, pitching different ideas when it came to the newspaper job. And then on the flip side, I just picked up the phone and started calling post supers at post production facilities in LA when I moved there. I only had about 3 months worth of runway in terms of money to work with, and I was living off of credit cards at the time. So uh, when I finally got a yes, it was literally 3 months of just picking up the phone and calling people over and over and over again. Same people, week after week. I think I might have given it 2 weeks in some cases, but the one job offer that I got, the interview that I got that led to a job offer, was based off of a contact that I had with a production facility that was tied in with Fox and their reality television business. And I called him every week and asked him, if he had anything, and he ended up sending my name to one of the executive producers of a television show, and I went from making $45,000 a year in Portland, Oregon, for an extreme sports production company to making $3,000 a week as a freelance editor in LA, and that allowed me to build my resume and eventually get into some of the highest end editing gigs on the planet with The Voice and Shark Tank at Mark Burnett Productions. And so the way that happened, the trigger that led to that was me picking up the phone and calling and asking for help. And when you ask for help and when you put that out in the universe repays you, but it takes a little bit of time. There's a little bit of lag time to that. And you have to be consistent in asking for help. You have to ask for the same thing, and you have to ask consistently. In this case, I'm starting a new writing career, and one of the things that I'm asking for help with is the submissions process. So the submissions process, when you're a new writer, is complicated. There's a lot of different literary journals out there, publications that you can submit to, just like a magazine, but for short stories. And what they do is they read a lot of short stories. A lot of them are not good. And the chances of success are determined by how focused you can become as a writer on the creative. And the submissions process is really just a set of clerical activities that need to happen in order to get your work out there. And that's one of the most important things you can do, is get your work out there, because that's you asking for help. The whole submissions process is you asking for help. So getting help with that submissions process and contacting an agency, I found one, I don't know if there's more than one, but the one that I found had great reviews, and so I, submitted my work to them. It's free to submit your work to them, and the name of it is Writer's Relief. Writer's Relief is run by a woman named Ronnie, and she started it because she realized how difficult it is for writers to actually get the job of getting their work out there done. And I'm so happy. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you so much. I couldn't be more pleased with the assignee, McKinsey, who is helping me in the process. But what they do is they take your cover material, they take your story, they craft a cover letter for you, and then they also, you have the chance to proofread it and that sort of thing. But they also take your story and they format it specifically for each one of these submissions, each one of these literary journals. And they do that anywhere from 20 to 30 different journals every 2 months. All you have to do is write and send the material to Writer's Relief, and they will even submit it for you. So there's different levels. There's an elite level, there's a full service level, and then there's a registration fee that everyone has to pay at the beginning. Registration fee is just to get signed up and go through the whole initiation process, and that's $225. The full service, which requires you to actually do the submissions once you get all of the submissions packages from Writers Relief. And then the Elite service, they actually handle everything for you. I signed up for the Elite service. The full service is $389 for short stories, and at this point, that may go up over time, but right now it's $389. And then the Elite service is $589 for one short story. And that's what I'm focused on is just creating the best short story that I can every 2 months. Not focus on being prolific. I'm focused on the quality of the work. And this asking for help from Writers Relief is one of the best things that I could have done, because I was spending a lot of time doing research on different journals and what the specifics are, but also like when you are working in a bubble and you're not working with anyone else, there's a greater chance of making small errors, grammatical errors, errors in applying the wrong formatting for a different publication. So it's very specific and it's very detail oriented, and it's something that I'm so glad that I'm working with Writers Relief. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Ronnie. Really appreciate it. I'm not being paid. I'm actually paying Writers Relief, so this is not an advertisement. But it falls into the bucket of asking for help and with getting your work out there, which is the most important thing, which is, in fact, the ultimate act of asking for help as a writer. So that's the end of this video. I'm now focused on having a lot more fun with the writing, really enjoying it. I can't say enough about how focus plays into success when it comes to being a writer, because you really need those long periods of isolation in order to get to a level of creativity that is going to play out and reach out and invoke emotion and have a response, like a real true response from the reader. So thank you, Writers Relief, for helping with allowing me to focus on the writing, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the long term to build my resume as a new writer. If you like this video, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any comments, any questions, or there's content that you'd like to see in the future, this video series is all about finding ways to get from being an unpaid writer to getting to the point of being paid as a writer as quickly and as economically as possible. Thanks for watching, and in the next video we'll talk a little bit more about how to have fun in the creative process. Should be a good one. Look forward to seeing you then.